Welcome back, everybody. I am Ryan West, a host of Neandertalk Podcast. Thank you for joining me. Last week I said I was taking a break for December on the podcast, which is mostly true. I do not have any guests scheduled, nor will I schedule any for this month. But I'm still doing like some behind the scenes stuff, getting guests scheduled for next year. For what I will be calling Season 2 of Neandertalk Podcast. I just need to take a little break from December. What can I say? It's been 124 episodes with no real long break. So I'm going to recharge the batteries and kind of switch things up and get some different ideas and just do a few things that are off. That aren't really just sitting down with guests. But today I had an idea of, COVID is still on the brain of everybody, and Kansas City is getting hit really hard. The businesses are getting hit really hard, and I love local businesses, as you guys know, and I love the Crossroads District of Kansas City, and it dawned upon me that I have a few episodes with Crossroads centric guests, and so I wanted to play a little bit of each one of those guests to highlight their businesses and just them, and maybe it'll spark you guys to kind of go out and maybe not necessarily give them your business if you don't want to, but at least give you the idea like, hey, support local business right now. They're really struggling. We've got these lockdowns in Kansas City right now where we got like a 10 o'clock. Everything has to shut down at 10 p.m. because, the virus doesn't hit you till 10:01. And it's just really hindering local business and the service industry in particular. So, without any further ado, here are the guests I have for this special Crossroads edition of the podcast. Start out with Michael with Mother Clucker. If you guys remember, Mother Clucker is Nashville hot fried chicken. It's phenomenal. I have it a lot. It's in Parlor, which is down there. And after her, and that was and I'll give you guys the episode numbers of these in case you want to go back and listen to the whole episode. If you hear different portions of this and want to hear more, so Mother Clucker was episode 107. After him, I got in there Tiki D. We got Diana. She is my favorite bartender in Kansas City, and you can have some of her amazing drinks at Mule, which is right next door to Parlor. And go in there, say hi. Tell her Ryan from Neandertalk Podcast sent in there, and I bet she might tell her you want a free shot of rum. Tell her it's on me. And then after her, she was episode 121. If you guys want to go check out her full episode, phenomenal story she has. She's great. Then after her, we have Zaid with Pirate's Bone Burger. That was episode 88. He's got the vegan burger restaurant right in the heart of the Crossroads there. You can take the streetcar basically right in front of his shop. Go in there, have some amazing fries and different kinds of burgers that are meatless. It's phenomenal. Go support him. He's got a credible story. A humbling story. The dude's a really great person. And then finishing it up, Doodle Dude. And this was from episode 60. Doodle Dude did one of the murals inside of Parlor. It's in like that big bay area up on the second floor. It's brightly colored. It's great. It's beautiful. And then I put all his information on the end there. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you haven't listened to any of these people's episodes before, maybe it'll inspire you to go back and listen to the whole ones. If not, you get a little taste of it, a little a la carte smorgasbord, of the Crossroads right here. I'd like to thank all of these guests that were on previously. Just thank them again. And I hope you guys really do take the time to support these businesses or wherever you're listening to this. If you're not in Kansas City, I know I got a lot of listeners elsewhere. Support your small local businesses right now if you can. If you're not afraid to get out there and tip well, You know, these service industry people are really struggling. That's it. But let's keep it positive. This was a lot of fun. I don't know what more to say. I love you guys all. Thank you for listening, watching, however you take in this media. Let me know how you guys like these little episodes. If I can do maybe more of these mix-up smorgasbord episodes, if you will. Primordial soups, primordial brews, we'll call them. Neanderthal Pod on Instagram, or feel free to email me too, neandertalkpodcast@gmail.com. That's it. Enjoy this episode, guys. Crossroads edition.
Welcome to the Inner Talk Podcast. We'll no topic is off limits. Now here's your host, my daddy, and Boy the Soul. Thank you for coming to the Inner Talk Podcast. Boom, swat, boom.
Poured you a little bit of this J. Rieger whiskey, and you're like, oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah. So Ryan, maybe he's a good friend of mine. I met him, I'd say 10, 11 years ago when I was working at the Rieger. He owns Manifesto, and Manifesto is one of the first speakeasies in Kansas City. He was one of the first people to actually be doing like legit speakeasy style craft cocktails. And when I'd finish my shift upstairs at the Rieger, I'd always go down there and help those guys out and talk to them and pick their brain, and learned about the whole craft cocktail scene and stuff like that. And
what is this? Like, how would you define a speakeasy? Like, I don't know exactly.
So,
like, I know what it is, but I don't know what it is.
have you ever been to Swordfish Tom's?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, see, that's a speakeasy because you don't know what
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, I'm not cool. I'm not hip.
Yeah.
I'm not plugged in like that. I
So-
wish I knew these little spots. The only place I knew was like the Tiki Hop, the
So-
Tiki Cat or whatever.
And see, I haven't been there yet either, but I've heard great things about it. My buddy Jonathan Bush, I believe, was involved with that as well. I went to middle school with that guy.
Damn.
But a speakeasy is a perfect example of a good speakeasy in Kansas City. Besides Manifesto, another one would be Swordfish Tom's. Swordfish Tom's is in the middle of nowhere downtown in the Crossroads. I took my mother and father-in-law there when they were in town, and they're like, hey, is something shady going on, or what's about to happen? Because it's in an alley. And if you're going there, like 11 midnight, it's a little sketch.
Sure.
The sign on the wall is like the size of your pointer finger. So you walk right by it basically, and it's in an old boiler room office building down there. The guy lets you in.
We probably shouldn't say too much about it, should we?
Well, I won't go past a certain part. So once you go down there, you go down these steps, and when you get in there, there's a room like this with, I think there's like 12 chairs, and then there's an old lantern lamp on the wall, and when the light turns green, that's when they let people out, and they let people in. When it's red, you gotta sit out there and wait your turn. Then when you get in there,
whoa,
it's cash only, and they have a seasonal menu. It's probably like 5 or 6 drinks, and they do it really, really well. And then you can tell the guy like or gal like, I like lemon, I like bitters, I like whiskey, and they'll just do something on the fly, and it's always good. And then
you're blowing my mind right now.
Oh, it's a sick spot. I always take business meeting people down there, and people I'm trying to reel in or impress. I always take them down there. It's a good time. And before that, we'll usually start out at the Green Lady Lounge.
I love that place.
It's probably,
please open back up.
Please open back
please.
up.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's
my spot.
And if somebody's like from out of town and they're like, hey, like, I want you to show me Kansas City, that's one of my favorite spots to take
mine
them,
too.
because the live jazz music, the dim lights, the swankiness, like, that's Kansas City. That's like a perfect rendition of Kansas City down there.
Yep. The drinks are good there.
The drinks are phenomenal. Everybody in there knows what they're doing too. It's great.
I haven't. Damn you, COVID.
So Nashville hot chicken, I fell in love with it when I was in. I've been going to Nashville since I was a little guy. with family and friends.
I've always
and
wanted to
stuff.
go. Like, I really want to go to Nashville.
It's
I really want to
amazing.
go.
They call it Nash Vegas now. I don't know about now, but
Right.
But that place is popping. It's like, I mean, just like you go to Green Lady Lounge and there's 2 levels of jazz music going on. There's like 20 levels in a building of, crazy country music going on in each of the buildings.
It's not all country though, right?
There. No, they got like blues and stuff like that too.
I'm not a country guy.
I'm a big country guy.
I can tell.
But Nashville hot chicken is amazing because it starts out with good fried chicken. So you have a good fried chicken recipe, but there's an extra step, which is you take the oil that you fried it in and you add a bunch of cayenne and brown sugar and ghost pepper and stuff to the oil, and you kind of create like a paste, a little bit thinner than a paste, like maybe a little thinner than pancake batter. Then you dip the chicken in there, and you got all the spices and the oil dripping and soaking onto the chicken. And then on top of that, you take whatever heat level you want, and then you season it on top of the chicken. So you're getting not only fried chicken, but in a love bath, and then that extra fairy dust on top that just takes it to the next level.
That's what that is.
That's what that is.
Whoa. Whoa. Who came up with that?
So
Nashville.
So Nashville did, and long story short, I guess the original lady that started Nashville hot chicken, the Prince's hot chicken, which is in Nashville, which is one of the more original spots. The mom of the lady that owns it now, I guess, caught like her husband cheating on her or something like that, and wanted to get back at him. So when she made him fried chicken, she made like the spiciest, like blow your ass out fried chicken ever, and he loved it.
Oh, jeez.
And they started the concept.
So she was like, "Oh my God, you love my chicken. It's all right that you banged my friend over here. Let's go into business and start Nashville hot chicken."
But that's
something was left out there, but I like it.
Yeah, something's left out, but she was trying to get back at her husband, and it turned out that he ended up liking the chicken, and they just started the Nashville hot chicken business. So it's got a cool little history to it.
Did he keep banging the broad on the side? Or
I don't know. But if you go out there, you can't go to the original Prince's because the original one burned down recently. But they have another location, and that was the first place I ever tried hot chicken, and it was amazing. Mm-hmm. It was so good. I fell in love with it right there. And I, being from Kansas City and going to Go Chicken Go a lot, and then also taking a lot of trips to Memphis and Arkansas, I'm very familiar with fried chicken, and I love Southern cooking. I lived in Arkansas for part of my life, and my children, the mom that took care of us, she made a really good Southern fried chicken, and biscuits and gravy and like the whole thing, and
the best.
Oh yeah, and
best.
Ever since then, it's just been a flavor in the back of my mind. And I mean, I went to a prestigious culinary school and all that, and I worked in Michelin restaurants and everything, and did the whole flowers and purees and all the artsy looking plates and stuff. But at the end of the day, you want something homey and you want something delicious. So Nashville hot chicken is the next best thing, in my opinion.
What's your favorite fast food chicken? Other than yours?
Chicken.
I know that's yours fast food, but you know what I mean, fried chicken joints.
Yeah,
like,
so I go to
around, that people can get.
I get gizzards and livers from
Go Chicken Go?
Go Chicken Go.
Okay, I was going to ask you what you get from Go Chicken Go. Okay, that's the right answer. That's the right answer.
When I go there, I order the same thing every time. It's either depending on how hungry I am, a full order, a half order of gizzards with no roll and extra sauce.
Hell yeah.
Because the sauce they give you is not enough. So if you take out the roll, which I'm not knocking the roll, but I don't need to fill up on
I don't
bread.
want the roll. That's a rookie move.
That's the rookie move. So you got to go there and get the extra sauce with the gizzards.
Yep.
And it's the best way to go. And that's what I get here. And then other fried chicken. Gus's is good. They're a franchise as well, but they're really good. Rye has really good fried chicken.
What do you think? Like, you don't have to say anything that's going to make you uncomfortable if it does, but like, what do you think of Stroud's?
I grew up on Stroud's, so
Yeah, you like it?
but I'm not a fan of Stroud's.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a fan of Stroud's, and people can say what they want, but I mean, their fried chicken is not that good.
It's not.
But-
Thank you.
but-
Nobody wants to admit that.
And-
Nobody will admit that to me.
And when I was younger, I don't even think I liked their fried chicken. And they serve canned green beans when green beans are really simple and easy to make. So I don't know why you're doing that. And if you really want to be a southern spot and be a true rendition, I'd rather go to Cracker Barrel than eat at Stroud's, to tell you the truth.
Sure.
So if you want to be like a real, like Stroud's could be good, but they need to be more southern, and they need to really take it home and not try, like, I'm a fast food spot, but it's my recipe, and we do stuff from scratch. That's why our menu's very limited, and there's not a lot on there, because we're doing everything from scratch, and we want to be able to serve people fast. Stroud's, I feel like, could be good if they stepped up their game and they actually got non-canned products in and stuff like that.
They don't need to step up their game. They've been on the Food Network.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's enamored by them. Like,
Yeah.
they're opening restaurants all over here. Like,
yeah, but I don't even see them that busy anymore. And when I was younger, the only thing I looked forward to when I go there was their cinnamon rolls.
Okay.
The cinnamon rolls aren't that bad when they're fresh.
I like their cottage fries and gravy.
Yeah,
That's what I get.
but
Last time I went there, I didn't even get the fried chicken.
yeah, but
Straight up, I got something. I got like either country fried. I think I got country fried steak.
I love country fried
Mhm.
steak. Country fried steak's my jam.
I was just as disappointed in that as I am with their chicken.
To everyone that's listening, so like he said, I'm the owner of Mother Clucker, Kansas City, which is the first Nashville hot chicken restaurant in Kansas City that my wife and I opened.
Follow Duffel Bag.
Duffel Bag Chef.
Duffel Bag Chef is his Instagram. And, of course, me, Neanderthal Pod. So you work at Mean Mule.
Mm-hmm.
Mean Mule Distillery? Is that what the guys call it officially?
Yeah, it was the Distilling Co.
Distilling
Mule
Co.
Distilling.
It's in the Crossroads,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite areas of Kansas City. And it's right in between Parlor and Grinders, which most people know.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been open. Well, I guess it's not. What is your affiliation with them other than bartender? Or is that just you're just a bartender for them? Or is there.
Well, I actually helped open the place up last year. So it's been open a little bit over a year now officially. But I was only there like one day a week before
Get right up
COVID.
on them. Like, try to stay into the mic. It'll sound
Oh, okay.
better.
There we go.
And you can move the mic. Like, do this.
Okay,
However.
I'm going to put it closer to me.
There you go.
we
Get
go.
close.
Okay. So, I mean, I was there, like one day a week because I was at Tiki Cat full time. And then COVID hit and then Tiki Cat closed. So then I started working full time and now I manage the bar. So I guess bartender manager, whatever
There
you
you
want to
go.
call it, lead. I think rum just has a really bad rap, because people aren't really have been taught about rum.
Yeah, for sure. That's
And I think Tiki helps that,
mhm.
build that bridge. And there's a rum for everybody out there.
Yeah.
There's all types of rums, and that's the cool thing about rum, in my opinion. But people just classify it as a sweet spirit or something. It's like, no, there's so many types of rums out there, and there's a rum for you.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep going. And
Yeah, if you
search.
drink alcohol, you'll find one.
Yeah,
You'll find
exactly.
one that you like.
And also, like I said, like the book Smuggler's Cove, it's a really great book to have if you're trying to get into rum, because it really does break down the types of rums, like where they come from, how they taste, how they were distilled. And so if you want to learn about rum and try to find your rum, definitely grab that book. It's a good book.
Yeah, you always have. Is that the book you have?
Yeah,
out there?
I always have that book on Tiki Tuesdays out on display.
And it's got a
Yeah.
ton of. And then on your Tiki Tuesdays, you always pick one drink out of that book to
Yeah,
make,
uh-huh.
along with
That's
the
special.
rest of your drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's funny because people are like, okay, what's the special this Tuesday?
Yeah.
You know, I'll be like, oh, let's do a Barbados punch or Don's own grog. So it's fun, and they're letting me, the owners at Mule are letting me, order this rum. So thank you, because it's obviously not related to our agave spirit. So that's really nice of them to let me kind of explore and do my own thing besides working there.
Yeah, and you're still selling the other stuff. I mean,
Yeah, I'm still selling them.
I love the Mule drinks.
Yes.
The summer menu was amazing. What was that one?
The mojito.
The spicy. It's. I love mojitos, but this is a different mojito. This isn't your average mojito, and it's spicy. And then there was a cucumber one.
We infuse it with jalapenos and cucumbers.
Yeah.
And Mule.
And then you didn't you drop like, and then drop like spicy.
It was a habanero tincture.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah. To make it more spicy.
Yes.
It was already spicy.
It's so good. I never knew I liked spicy drinks. And now the fall menu is phenomenal. I had the hot cider, whatever.
The Country Roads.
Country Roads. And it's got like this thick crust of cinnamon and nutmeg or something on the rim.
It's sugar and cinnamon.
Oh, and and when you take a sip, the crust of that stuff hits your lips, and at the same time as the liquid hits, it's like you're eating and drinking apple pie.
That's awesome.
It's so
I'm glad
good.
you like it.
That's the best. And that's your creation, right?
Yeah. I love apple cider.
There's a few menus on the fall item that were created by all the different bartenders, correct? And then that one was yours.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. What are the other ones on there for?
So you have the Sleepy Hollow by Chrissy. She it's really good. It's like a coconut spice forward cocktail. So it has orange curacao, coconut cream, a pumpkin spice syrup, and the gold Mule. It's so good, and has a nutmeg on top, so you get that little like Christmas vibes in a sense. And then El Bandito, if you're like sweet and spicy, definitely that drink is your go-to. So we infuse ancho chili peppers, and we use a little bit of chinar, and it's delicious. Then we also have a Ace in a Hole, which is ginger syrup, Aperol, and silver. Very refreshing, simple, kind of like a daiquiri in a sense, where it's just served up, simple, delicious. And then we also have our classics, obviously. And then the Night Whisper is the one that's really popular right now too. It's really pretty too. It's a purple little drink. It comes with an edible flower from Missing Ingredients that we get from. It has lavender, and violet liqueur, so it's very aromatic. And our silver agave, delicious if you're looking for something really cute and fancy, and delicious too. But yeah, so that's basically all of our cocktails that we created, and then we also have our classics like the margarita, Paloma, Mean Mule, and then sangria for this fall.
You haven't had the sangria.
Definitely try it. It's really boozy.
Yeah. Give me some booze. Give me some booze.
It's really sad to see the service industry struggle, so I wanted to come to an end.
I hate that. That was one of the biggest things that I was really concerned with, because I spent many years bartending, serving. Like, I was in that industry for a long time. Like, that was my main source of income in my early 20s. And I think now, like, what would have happened to me? Well, if I was doing that while this happened, like, I would have been, I don't know, I've been freaking out. Like,
I did freak out for
just freaking out. What do I do? Like, I don't know. And then, yeah, it's fine. I would have been cool with it. Shut us down for a couple weeks.
Right.
But now, like, some places still aren't. I think most places are doing some kind of soft open, or, light open type stuff. But
for sure, like,
Kansas City's lucky. We've been
super lucky lately. I just feel like the most recent one that really hits, I think, Kansas City is the Rieger. The Rieger is closing its doors on the 31st of this month, and that.
Oh, wow.
The
didn't know
Rieger
that.
KC.
You know, I know
Crossroads,
that. Yeah, no, I know right where it's at. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised. Don't they have another one too?
No, yeah, they do, but it's a little bit separate ownership, I believe.
Okay.
I don't really know.
I
but-
haven't been to one in the Crossroads. I've been to the other one.
Yeah.
With the slide.
But it's really sad to me because they've done so much for the community in Kansas City while the pandemic was happening and
That's
everybody
right.
got laid off. I got laid off.
They did stuff.
You know, they were given free meals
Yes,
every
that's right.
single day from 4 o'clock, I believe, to 8.
If you're in the service
And
industry.
I actually went a few times because I was like, I personally felt like I need to save every single cent I'm getting
Right.
from unemployment because I don't know what's going to happen. And I lived right down the street, so I would walk there with my friend from the industry too, and we'll get our free meal. They did so much for Kansas City, for the service industry.
Yep.
They fed the homeless while the pandemic was happening. So I
when there was
believe
a big shortage of hand sanitizer,
they
they were
gave
one of
them-
the first ones that made a whole bunch
Mhm.
of we're gonna make a whole bunch of hand sanitizer
Yeah.
and give it out to you guys.
They were amazing. And it's
Damn.
just sad to see that
Oh,
happen.
come on, Karma, where you at?
Yeah.
Where you at, Karma? That's why I don't
I
believe in that
know.
shit. Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's really sad. So you have a few, weeks to go support them until, the lights get turned off.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
hoping
we lost
that
Nara too.
Huh?
We lost Nara too.
Nara, yeah. I love that place too.
Mm,
It
yeah,
was
it was
I'm
great.
so surprised about that too.
Yeah, that was like the spot. Like
Mhm.
that was the hip spot for sushi. Everybody wanted to go there.
Yeah, there's been a few spots and it's just like really sad. I think this winter is going to be really, really dark because the patios are really what are keeping a lot of restaurants afloat too. Having that extra seating helps a lot.
People feel safer out there.
Exactly, and I think it's going to get a little bit worse in a sense, but hopefully not. Hopefully people still support, each establishment by either getting carry out or getting the cocktail kits to go. And if you're comfortable going out, definitely go support local.
Like you make your own drinks. Like just I'm gonna create it yourself. Like
Well, I think that's what it comes with. That's the fun of being a bartender. You're kind of like a chef in a way.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
you're coming up with
you're
your own
able-
ingredients, your own
Exactly.
drinks.
You can infuse things that would change the spirit, how it tastes completely. You can use certain liqueurs that would change the texture even of the cocktail completely. And and then the garnish is like the little touch at the end that makes that drink badass or whatever you want to call it. But I started experimenting more at Tiki Cat. That's where I was more creative in a sense. And I have a cocktail right now called the Retro Cocktail Hour. And that was like my first like really proud cocktail, I would say. And that actually is a GNR. It's a new bar that it's opening in West Plaza on the 39th Street. Yeah. No. West Plaza's not on 39th. 39th Street by the Drunken Worm and all of that.
And West, like 39th Street by KU Med Center.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
a new bar called GNR. So that was one of my creations that I did at Tiki Cat, and they're actually going to feature it there.
Okay.
So if you want a Tiki D cocktail, you can go there and get it. It's called the Retro Cocktail Hour. It's a rum-based cocktail. But besides like creating cocktails for a meal, like that's basically what any bartender really does. You just create, you see what works, what doesn't, you make a balance.
I didn't realize that. I just
And-
thought there was
A lot of trial and error.
Yeah,
for
well, yeah.
sure. And a lot of asking people, do you like this or not? We've had meetings, obviously, like staff meetings where we all like create cocktails too, and we judge each other's cocktails. Like, I think this needs a little bit more of this, or maybe take that out, use a different liqueur or something. And it's pretty cool to be able to do that. And we do that for the menu, for the fall menu as well. It's like one time a year where you just get together and you just hang out and create cocktails until, you find that like, okay, this is right. This is a good menu.
The artistry of drink making is so much deeper than I thought. Like I thought, bartenders for the most. I thought what made a good bartender was if I could name the drink, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's what this is. I know how to make an old fashioned. I know how to make a Kansas City old fashioned or a Scissorac, or like you just know how to make these drinks. I didn't realize it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just create my own thing.
Yeah.
Like,
And you can take inspiration, obviously, from
Right.
those drinks, like a riff, and that's fine too. It's just your own twist on an inspiration from a classic cocktail. And I think that's the fun part of being a bartender, being able to create. And, at the end of the day, if it tastes good and you like it, that's what matters though,
Yeah.
at the end. Honestly, that's what I've been told at the same time.
that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
What's the retro cocktail hour? What is in that one?
So actually, that one was inspired by the DJ called Daryl Brogdon from the Retro Cocktail Hour. I don't know if you heard of him.
I don't know.
He's been doing his shows since 1995, and it's on Kansas City Public Station.
Oh, cool.
And he's been doing that exotica sounds, strange music, space music. So he was one of the DJs that would come to Tiki Cat every first Wednesday of the month, and he would DJ and record his show there, and then publish it that weekend. So he was one of the first people that I met that was like a Tiki enthusiast that just like was so welcoming and so nice to me, and welcomed me to the Tiki family, Tiki Cat, and I just felt like he needed a cocktail that was for him, some inspiration that was inspired by him, because he would come to Tiki Cat and just do it for free, and I was like, you're so nice, like you need some recognition.
Nice.
So I put some stuff together. I put blackberry liqueur together, orange juice, some orgeat, some Jamaican rum, and some lime juice together, and I made the retro cocktail hour. And it's delicious. And it's so good. And it's literally what the name would look like, just a purple typhoon? Is that the word?
Yeah.
Typhoon in the glass.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's how he describes it too. And so it was a collaboration between me and him, and I really wanted to make this cocktail special because he deserves it.
All right, Tiki, where can people find you?
You can find
Usually,
me
typically,
like working.
Yeah, people want to come see you
Yeah.
after they hear this. They want a Tiki D drink.
So Tuesdays is Tiki Tuesdays at Mean Mule. You can find me there for sure. And I'm also at Mean Mule 5 days a week. And at Tiki Huna every once in a while. You can honestly follow me on social. You'll see where I'm at. I'm at random places at all times. It's Tiki D _ Diana Condori.
Super easy to remember.
Yeah, Tiki D. And I literally post about where I'm going to be that week, that month, or wherever I'm at. But you can usually find me at Mean Mule all the time.
Making mean drinks.
Yeah.
She is the best bartender in Kansas City. I
No.
love her drinks.
No.
I think
so. Thank you, but
I haven't experienced them all, but you're my favorite.
thank you. I appreciate
All right,
that.
how about that? You might not be the best, but you're my favorite.
It was a coin toss for me. I wasn't sure if Kansas City was ready for it.
Right?
I wasn't sure. But
You're
we've
lucky
been doing
we're
good.
a hip town. We're
We've
becoming
been doing
hip.
good.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even put it too much on like hip, but I think we're interested. At least we want to I think we're kind of just like scratching our heads and being like, really though? And at least giving it a chance. Even if you come one time, that's one time that you didn't have to like eat an animal.
Right.
And it's good. You're not going to miss it. Like, you're really not going to miss it. I thought it was going to be like the most horrible thing.
Are you in the restaurant every day working?
Yeah,
like
pretty
that's
much 6 days a week.
You cook?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I do cook every now and then, but I have my staff fully, trained, and I just kind of overwatch. And
So people go up there, they're going to see you?
most of the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately. I can't say. Yeah, well, it's like I don't want to fucking work 6 days a week. That's not my job.
Oh,
That's not my
yeah,
plan.
yeah, okay.
No one does. No one really wants to work 6 days a week.
Yeah, you're right.
There is a good quote by poet, and he said something about like, I know you deserve a 6-month vacation 2 times a year. And I'm like, yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
We all do.
That would be it. That's do what you do, do what you do for a passion
But we do need breaks. So like my dream goal would be to work 3 days a week. And that's it. Like I already worked my ass off to build this restaurant. I don't need to work there every day.
That's like one of the hardest
maintain
businesses to do.
Yeah.
Is doing a restaurant.
90% of us close
in the first
on the
year,
first year,
right?
and then 80% of whatever was left close on the second year.
Oh my, really?
Yeah. It's still pretty high. Like
that's super high.
Just because you get off the first year doesn't mean
doesn't
you're
mean
fucking
all right.
staying
We're
around.
there.
No, yeah. It's still super high.
Shit.
So so like 80% of like 10% makes it through the second year, and then it goes down. Like if you make it through the third year, it goes down dramatically. I think it's like 30% or something like that.
Well, that's
which is good, but at that point you're like 30% of like the original, 7% or whatever. So
how long is this? Do you call? Because you used to have a one in Brookside.
I used to have a little
that where it
coffee
was?
shop test kitchen in Brookside.
Okay, and so now you're in the Crossroads. How long has that been there officially?
Officially, we've been open for 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got 6 more months to go to get over that 90%.
And I'm fully aware of that. So we are threading carefully and making sure that we keep quality. I mean, quality is the best thing you can work on. I'm a perfectionist, and my employees will know this. I mean, every little thing I get after.
Yeah.
Just because it has to be. And we're trying to convince Meat Town, barbecue
Right.
town.
Yeah. This is Kansas
So we
City.
need
This
to,
is barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to convince people that this is a viable option, that that it's worth your money. And
you're in the right spot for it. I mean, the Crossroads is like, you're going to find more of those people that are willing to go that route.
I mean, yes, you could say that, and then you could also not say that because there's only 2 vegetarian or vegan restaurants in the Crossroads. So in statistics, yes and no.
Okay.
Because there's we did a little research project before we opened. There was about 75 restaurants serving burgers within the Crossroads.
75?
Yeah, serving burgers.
Right.
There was only about 4 restaurants out of those serving a vegetarian burger. And there was only 2 restaurants out of those serving a vegan burger. So statistically, you would say, oh, yeah, there's a lot more people there. But no, there's a lot more restaurants feeding meat in the Crossroads than not.
I just meant the type of person that goes down there.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You would think so.
Yeah, but they're not.
But we're actually
burgers.
catering to a whole different crowd.
Yeah.
But hopefully people are opening themselves to it. That's my biggest thing. Opening yourselves to it. If we get you to skip a meal with meat on the plate 1 day a week.
Is that
great?
Is that something you would like? Do you want listeners to commit to 1 week, one meatless Monday or something like that?
No, that's too little, man. Commit to more.
Well, you got to start somewhere, man.
Start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere.
Well, you're asking me my personal opinion.
Right.
No.
Start with what? Start with what? You got to start with somewhere. If you're I don't know. I think that's hard to do for some people. To be once a week.
I think the mental part is the hardest thing, because when I did it, I just switched overnight pretty much, and I didn't have this breakdown. Now I'm not like everybody, and not everyone's like me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely a very unique, weird person in my own ways. So I wouldn't say everyone can do it, but everyone can do it. It's definitely not impossible.
If I did it, you can do it.
It's definitely not impossible.
Right.
I went again. I have to go back. I went from doing everything in the kitchen to being a butcher. So yeah, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I used to love meat. I used to cut meat. I used to cut pork.
Okay. I understand that aspect, but yeah, I mean, you do have to get the education out there, because I mean, how much more do you spend on groceries than you used to when you spent it on meat?
Oh, not at all. The first time.
Is it cheaper?
So much cheaper.
Really?
So much cheaper. Hands down, so much cheaper. I'm not even trying to be drastic or sell you on the idea just because of it, but it's so much cheaper. I went out that first like week. I was like, fuck it, I'm not eating all of this. And I like gave all my food out to everybody. And I went out to buy groceries that first time. I filled up like, I brought so many vegetables because I was like, I want to play around with all this shit. Because I've never really thought about playing around with vegetables. And I was like, now I'm going to have to.
Right.
So I better get good at it.
You were already a cook? Were you already a cook or no?
I've always been kind of like into cooking.
Right.
But like,
not trained
just,
or anything?
just house cooking. Yeah.
Okay.
Not trained. I've never been trained.
Okay.
And at that point, I was not a chef for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least a professional chef.
Mm-hmm.
So I filled up my whole fridge, like every little crack in it. And I was surprised because I spent like $68, maybe $70. And I filled up a whole fridge, like full of things that I was like, damn, where am I going to put this now? So it was just like an eye opener of like, fuck, you can definitely do this in a lot cheaper way. But when we see like a burger for $1,
right,
then we're like, well, fucking no, that makes more sense because I don't have to cook it. I don't have to. But if you think about it, you can get a lot more for your money, like bang for your buck if you buy vegetables and then cook them at home. Now, for a lot of people, it's not an opportunity or like accessible to do that because a lot of people work a lot. And I get it.
right.
Like I've done it.
Long day, kids, whatever.
But if we want to think about like being healthier, again, I haven't been sick, really, really sick in a minute, and I haven't gone to the doctor. So if you start to put all these little things into the equation, you're like, well, it kind of fucking makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I could do this and it could be better for us.
Yeah.
And
it's a lifestyle change though. It's a lot. It's
is
hard to make people change a complete 180 and do an actual lifestyle change. You want something more to drink? You good?
No, I'm good. But yeah, no, I totally get it, especially without the information, with the right information
Right.
and the right way to like push that information to them, to give that information to them.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's so drastic, it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute to people like to get a little soft and feel that change is possible. But I hope that we're doing that. We have a lot of faux meats now, so if people really don't want to lose that.
You guys got that?
Yeah. Kid you not, the Impossible Burger, like I made it and chip on my shoulder, but not really. Humbly, it was the best. I've made some of the best burgers that I ever had, period, like in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
The Impossible Burger was delicious. Now, we don't serve the Impossible at the shop because it does have some ingredients that we're like, maybe not here. It's not for us.
It's a lot of oil, isn't it?
It does have a lot of oil, but so this animal has fat soil, so it's not like
Don't qualify. It's got a lot of oil. It's not great for you.
it's got so
Right?
does meat. So
Right.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it's not a healthy option, and it's meant to be faux meat. It's not meant to be faux
Do
vegetable.
you eat and like faux meat?
Some of it, yeah, for
Really?
sure.
Okay.
I don't like consume it on a daily basis, but I'm okay with it. Like I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm still not eating an animal, which I'm like, high five for me.
Sure.
And I think it's a great start for people.
Okay.
Like I already went through that
part of
step.
that baby step.
Yeah. I already went through that step, and I'm
Mhm.
okay with eating vegetables. So I'm like, if you need this, like, we got it for you. Like we can make it happen. There's enough technology at this point that we can do it. And now we've been playing with a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet for so many years now that we're getting super creative about inventing new items, new styles of things.
Mhm.
So we're in a good place to like actually choose a vegan diet or a vegan lifestyle. We can live with it just totally fine.
Well, what we need is Pirate's Bone Burgers drive-thrus on every few corners.
So the main idea would be to get to that point.
I mean, wouldn't that be a huge way to make the change that
Oh,
you
no,
want?
no, yeah, we want to. I just couldn't find a place that would do it.
Oh, I'm not
And
saying now. That would definitely be something down the road. But
Oh
like,
no.
from
Yeah, but that
everywhere.
was my idea.
Oh yeah.
I just didn't have the money for it.
Yeah.
Because accessibility is the main thing that we need to focus on. Accessibility for information, accessibility for food, and just make it easier for people because it's not easy at this point. So if we made it easy, we made it affordable, it can happen. And I'm willing to bet $100 that it will happen. It will happen no matter what. People are going to start switching slowly, but it's already happening. There's billions of dollars. Your richest people in the world are investing into these, full meat companies.
Yeah.
Because that's where the money is going. I mean, if we're really trying to change the environment and everything, because if we don't change it, everyone will suffer through it, even the rich. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. They
Without
just
the
suffer
poor,
through it comfortably.
without the poor, there's no rich. That's the only
Right.
thing. You can't be rich without poor people. So if we all
Right.
start to die off, there's not going to be a lot of reason to be rich. There's not going to be a lot of ways to be rich. So we still need rich people still need poor people to be rich. So we need to keep this world. And I'm not saying that's the main thing. Let's not keep the world for rich people. I'm just saying let's make changes.
Let's keep people poor.
Let's make changes and let's not keep people poor. Let's raise people up. Let's educate people. That's the biggest thing, and that's why we're poor, because we don't educate people. So let's educate people. I love one of the things that I love about the restaurant industry, and especially this one that I'm in now, is the amount of diversity that we have in the shop. It's one of the most beautiful things that I've seen, and we get so much diversity on any given day. Now, our main clientele are Caucasian folks, but for the most part, it's super diverse from different types of the world, from different corners of the world, which is truly amazing. I'm very happy for
Kansas
it.
City's great like that, right? We got a nice little melting pot here.
We have a nice little melting pot, but you don't see that much in restaurants. You see a lot of pockets.
Right.
You see groups of people.
Yeah.
And we're getting a little small circle where people can just be whoever they want and whatever they want. That's our main thing, to be super open-minded to everybody and anybody, because everyone's money is green and we should respect everyone as a whole. People are people, humans are humans, no matter where you come from, your religion, your gender, or your preference, that's whatever it is.
You got to eat.
You got to eat, and you're more than welcome and respected as an actual human being at the shop than anywhere else, or at least, and that's where I want to keep it. And I hope that people follow through it and start to be more open to minorities, because that's pretty much who's getting the short stick every turn.
Oh yeah.
Are minorities. So if we can just open doors to minorities, amazing.
Heck yeah. How much is a meal?
So it's everything is a la carte.
Okay.
So we did it because, and everything's under $5. That's the biggest punch.
Right.
I wasn't sure as I was going to be able to pull it off. That's why it was a 20 cost. First, it's vegan. 2, everything's under $5. Search for us. We're on 20th and Main in the Crossroads. Pirates Bone Burgers. www.piratesboneburgers.com or Pirates Bone. We also have that.
Nice.
Need to buy pbb.com as well. And then find us on Instagram. All the social media is about Pirates Bone Burgers. And as well, I'm on social media on Instagram. Follow me as Plant-Based Pirate.
I think a lot of people could easily visualize your art in 3 dimension as a universe.
Right.
It just
The Doodleverse.
You know what does help with that too is Parlor,
Yeah.
because that is so big. It's
Right.
that entire wall,
Yeah.
and it's so bright in there and
Mhm.
wide open. You can kind of feel
You almost step into
yeah.
it in a way. And that was actually the point
how
of
cool
the
is that
Parlor
for
one.
you to do?
Yeah, it was cool. The Parlor one was interesting because they wanted, when I came in, they were like, oh, well, we want the whole wall, all the other walls are going to be cut out. There's going to be giant windows in each wall. But this one, for support reasons, had to be maintain solid brick with just that little window. And they were like, well, we'd really like for people to be able to see the skyline, because that's the one thing you don't get to see because of that wall. And And they were like, but we really don't want it to be like that generic thing you see like all over Kansas City, like just the
Right.
skyline
Yeah.
all over. And so I was like, well, what if I just like literally continued? I used the window in the center as like a base point, and then I continued what you see out the window, like directly onto that wall. So like when I was sketching it out, I literally just took some pictures out the window, and then I, just basically continued what I saw through the window standing in the middle of the room onto the wall. So really you are stepping out of this world and into mine, just through that image. And then I just added, like I said, my design elements,
Dude, that's so
which
cool.
bring it into like, I save every photo, or I screenshot every photo that I see people have tagged that wall in.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm at 400 so far. And so it's nuts.
Got me
and
on there.
Davis told me they got I guess the owner, like partial owner of Parlor. He's like, oh, this is gonna be one of the most Instagram photo, like one of those walls that has like the most gram-worthy.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was like, oh well, I'm gonna like
It'll
work
be-
my
it-
butt off
yeah.
to get to that point. But it does have a decent amount of photos. Which
It's so
is
bright
interesting.
and happy.
Yeah, it changes the environment of a space.
But which brings me, how do you get that bright? Is that just paint? Is that like it's so bright? Like
I'll
it
tell
doesn't
you,
like it looks like computer graphics.
This is another secret weapon of mine.
Ooh.
I only mix my colors out of the primary colors, and I have a theory behind why. So I used to do my old work using pre-mixed tube paints, and they always had like this.
What do you mean by that?
Like forest green, instead
Okay.
of like taking yellow and blue and combining them in my own way.
Okay.
And so like my theory is, the whole world is mixed out of the primary colors. That's
Primary.
why we call them primary colors, and then they're secondary. So secondary, and then anything beyond that is pre-mixed tube colors that somebody in the factory is designing so that you can just squeeze it onto the palette, literally just add some white and
Sure.
use it. But I was like, well, the world isn't made up like that. And why do you think that flowers are so bright? Like, why do you think that certain animals have like this, like depth to, like, there's such a depth in the color to them that you don't get out of those premixed tube paints. And I was like, oh, well, if the world's made out of primary colors, my doodleverse has to be made out of primary colors. And so I'm really trying to like take elements of this world, basically like if you tossed them all into a blender and then re-spat them out into the world again. And that's really what my doodleverse is. And so, yeah, what I do is I literally it's cheap because I only have to buy blue, yellow, and red paint, and then white to add in the color, to soften the color.
You make your own.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an art in itself. There.
Yeah, it's very rare.
I was gonna say, I can't imagine
mix
anybody.
your own
I've never
colors.
heard of such a. I mean, I'm not in this world.
Yeah. I mean, the old school guys or girls,
Mhm.
the Renaissance artists and
Mhm.
people like that, they would have had to have been technically trained to do that before they could move on to, using tube colors. But now, people just half-ass the technical training part, and then
Everybody wants a shortcut.
so they're just like, all right, well, we get it, and then they just move on to pre-mixing the tubes, and then you wonder why like art looks so dark.
That's really amazing.
Yeah. And that's not to like, there's other
I mean,
artists
that's
that do
basic. I
that.
mean, that's basic art, right?
Right.
I mean, that's just basic art 101.
Right.
But
I mean, there's
everybody
other artists
skips
that
it to
do
make
but-
it. They're pretending to be art 301, and they
Right.
just need to stick with the
Yeah.
101 in this
Yeah.
instance.
People love the shortcut. The shortcut is the,
But that does seem like one hell of an art to make your own colors.
it is,
Wow.
it's like, it's kind of like,
By
people
eye,
also
you just
took the
judge it by
shortcut.
eye. Like
Mhm.
this is what I want, and
Yeah,
wow.
and
Dope.
another thing is I never plan a drawing or painting. I'll maybe have a theme in mind. Most of the time I'll just start with a line, and then I'll just be like, oh, well, it's gonna look like this, and then eventually something will come together. But if I do like draw a room, I'll literally just draw the room, and then I'll just fill it. Or if I'm gonna draw like, you know, I don't plan anything going into it. I don't sketch anything out. I don't sketch the murals out. I just draw it on the wall. Most people use like a projector. I think that takes away from like the organic.
They use a projector for doing a mural or something?
Yeah, like if you go in there like at night, you can use like one of those grade school projectors, and you can project the sketch onto the wall, and then you can trace it. So they're tracing their own work in a way, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, a lot of people do it, but
is that frowned upon?
No, for me, I just think it adds like way like you get the same feeling of the original drawing when you just like do another original drawing on the wall.
I kind of frown on it.
I
hear that and I get disappointed.
I don't like as an artist, it's hard to like you can't like you don't want to like be too confident in yourself, but like a lot of people do it. And so it's
a lot of people just because
a lot of people would do it, and
there's
so
a lot at stake or something. They don't want to lose out on it.
A lot of people are really nervous to put something to paper that has not been planned out, especially when it is going to be seen by so many people in the public.
If it's good,
but that's how I thrive. Like I love live drawing. Like I love doing like at First Fridays. I always am drawing something while I'm working or while I'm selling my stuff. It's like a hook.
Yeah,
I can hook people in. So if like, I don't know, I think that there's something interesting about just drawing on the wall, and then it becomes not the sketch anymore. It's a brand new drawing, if that makes sense. You can just follow. I do a daily drawing on Instagram and
Doodle Dude
Facebook.
Art.
Yeah, it's I switched it to art because it's a shorter word.
Yeah.
So it's just at Doodle Dude Art on Instagram. It's
Doodle Dude. Love
it. Doodle Dude LLC. Dude is spelled DOOD. It's Doodle Dude LLC on Facebook. I have an actual business. So, and then, you know, other than that, I mean, just following along is more than enough.
Where can people, do you sell stuff?
Yeah, so I have a website at www.doodledude.com. Again, dude is spelled DOOD. I have my portfolio. All of my paintings are up there.
I love this. I'm going to show.
Yeah. I have
this little doohickey here you brought me is beautiful. I can't wait I'm gonna get it framed and I'm gonna hang it in here somewhere.
But yeah, I mean all of the I have like those drawings, all of my daily drawings. I'm on daily drawing 820, and I have them all categorized on my website so that you can really go in and find what you're looking for. I have all my paintings, I have my murals on there, the Parlor one included. And then I also have a full shop, so I sell like I have prints of like 10, 15 paintings on there. I have prints of probably 10, 15 of those on there, just hand selected ones.
Guy Fieri one.
Yeah, I do have a print of that on there. I sell apparel. I have coloring books.
That shirt?
Yeah.
That's
I
a dope
I
shirt.
design my own apparel. I have a business partner with in terms of the apparel side of things, and I just really like use it as a platform to kind of like, you know, if I can't get if I can't get someone from the general public to buy an original piece, which I don't expect them to because it's pricey, they can always buy prints and apparel and stuff that, you know, is catered more towards their interest anyway. Like apparel, anyone will wear apparel. So.